I woke up this morning at 7 a.m. for my first class of the day. And after getting ready, I walked over to my desk and looked at my computer. I saw a notification that said, "You have a new email from a reader." The email said, "Hey, I'm writing a book and I got inspired by your YouTube videos. You are one of the people who inspired me to start learning how to code." I was shocked when I read that because it had never happened before. No one had ever emailed me saying they were inspired by anything I did. But I thought to myself, wow, this is so cool. Someone is learning how to code because of my videos. So I replied to their email and asked them what they were building. They told me that they were building a simple game in JavaScript. And I suggested that they read the book JavaScript Game Development with P5.js by Lauren McCarthy. This is the book that changed my life in 24 hours. When I first saw this book, I didn't think much of it. It was just another book about programming. But then I started reading it and it was like nothing I had ever seen before. Instead of talking about concepts in theory, the author gave real-world examples. For example, instead of saying, "This is an array," she would say, "This is an array," and show you how to use it. Not only that, but the examples she gave were always interesting. She never showed something as trivial as "Hello World." Instead, she showed things like games and animations. By doing this, she made learning fun. As a result, I became super excited about learning to code. I remember sitting on the floor of my room at night, reading this book, unable to put it down. The more I read it, the better I felt about myself. I started to feel like I could do anything. For the first time, I became super interested in the topic of computer science. I wanted to know everything there was to know. I remember going to sleep that night feeling like I had discovered something incredible. I couldn't wait to tell my friends about it. In the morning, I woke up early, not because I had to go to school, but because I wanted to spend all day reading the book. I finished the entire book in one day. It was so exciting. I learned so much. I couldn't believe it. I remember thinking to myself, I can't believe I spent 365 days doing nothing and now I can make games in 24 hours. It was one of the best feelings I've ever had. After I finished the book, I started building games in P5.js. I built Pong, Snake, and even a simple version of Space Invaders. At that time, I didn't know any other programming languages, but it didn't matter. I was having so much fun. I was hooked on programming. The next day, I went to school and told all my friends about the amazing book I had read. Some of them were interested, so I lent them the book. One of my friends was very interested in making games. So I told him to read the chapter about how to make a game. He came back the next day and told me that he had built a game in one day. He was so happy. I was so happy for him. At that moment, I knew that I wanted to share this feeling with the world. I wanted everyone to feel the same way I did when I read the book. So I started a YouTube channel and posted videos about the book. I also started a blog where I wrote about my experiences learning to code. I did this for 2 years. During that time, I didn't make any money. I was just doing it for fun. But after 2 years, I realized that I had created something special. I had built a community of learners and teachers. People from all over the world were watching my videos and reading my blog posts. They were sharing their projects and helping each other out. It was amazing. One day, someone sent me an email asking if he could use my logo on his website. It turns out he was working on a project to help people learn to code for free. He asked if he could use my logo as a symbol of the project. I was honored and I agreed. From that day on, my life changed. People started paying attention to me. I was invited to give talks at conferences and universities. I was interviewed by newspapers and magazines. I met some amazing people and had many interesting experiences. Now, more than 10 years have passed since I read that book. I've written several books myself and taught thousands of students. But whenever I see someone new who is interested in learning to code, I always recommend this book. It is the best book for beginners that I have ever seen. If you want to learn to code, I highly recommend this book. Let me tell you why. First of all, it is very well written. The author has a great writing style. She is able to explain complex topics in a very clear and concise way. When I read her book, I felt like she was teaching me one-on-one. She makes learning fun and easy. The book is filled with humor and interesting examples. Secondly, the book is very comprehensive. It covers everything from basic programming concepts to advanced topics. By the end of the book, you will know everything you need to get started with programming. Thirdly, the book is very practical. The author gives you many real-world examples and projects that you can work on. This will help you understand how programming is used in the real world. You will also be able to build your own projects, which is a great way to learn. Finally, the book is very affordable. It is much cheaper than other programming books on the market. And trust me, it is worth every penny. If you are a complete beginner, then this book is perfect for you. You don't need to know anything about programming or computers. All you need is a computer and an internet connection. Once you finish this book, you will be able to do many cool things. You will be able to build your own websites, applications, and games. You will be able to solve problems using code. You will be able to automate tasks, and you will be able to analyze data. I know that learning to code can be challenging, but this book will make it easy for you. Just follow the instructions, read the examples, and practice the exercises. And most importantly, have fun. Learning to code should be enjoyable. Don't get frustrated if you don't understand something. Just take your time and try to understand it. If you still don't understand, ask for help. There are many online forums where you can get help.